Hello, my co-learners. Welcome to my channel, BioBundle. And in today's topic, we are going to learn about transportation in plants. So, transportation in plants is segregated in two parts. One, the transport of water and minerals. Second, the transportation of food. And this process is also called translocation. So, in this topic, we are going to learn about how water and minerals and the food is transported in the plant body from where it has been obtained to where it is needed. Okay. So, for example, in the water and mineral transportation, we know that soil is the source of water and minerals for the plant. So, which part of the plant body is in contact with soil? Yes, it is the root. So, the root will absorb the water and minerals, and from the root it would be transported to the stem, to leaves, to the different branches and every part of the plant body. Similarly, when we talk about food movement, the translocation, food is made where? It is made in the leaves. You already know by the process of photosynthesis, food is made along with the carbohydrate based food which is made by photosynthesis. Some other nutrients like amino acids, they all need to be sent to different parts of the body. Where they need to be sent? The growing regions of the body, the storage organs of the body, where fruits need to be formed, right? New seeds have to be formed. So these are the places which have high energy requirement. They need more and more of food. So, transportation in plants, we have two categories: water and mineral transportation, food transportation. So, the part of plant body which is involved in water transportation is xylem. Xylem is a complex permanent tissue, and the main elements involved are tracheids and vessels, whereas phloem is also a complex permanent tissue of plant, and the elements which are involved in translocation are sieve tubes and companion cells. What we see here is that the movement of water and minerals is always from root to the other parts of the plant body. It's never in the opposite direction. If you put water to the leaves are not going to absorb the water directly. The water has to come only via the roots. So you have to water the soil. You have to put water to the soil, and from there the roots will absorb it and send it to all the parts of the body. So water movement is unidirectional, whereas food movement it can happen in both upward and downward direction based on the requirement of the plant body. And yes, the movement of water and minerals, it takes very less energy because mostly depends on osmosis, root pressure and transpirational pull, whereas translocation of food, it needs more energy, it utilizes more energy. Okay. So let's move forward to the transport of water. Students, as you can look at the diagram here, this shows a root hair. Root hair is a extension of the cell. Okay, this is only one cell. This is one cell of the root which extends in this thin sort of extension which is called a root hair, and it's very thin and it's in direct contact with the soil. And these are the soil particles, and in between the soil particles we have air space which holds the oxygen and other gases, and we have the water which is also called the capillary water. So from this capillary water is going to enter into the root cell, and then it will go in the upward direction. Now you may be aware of the concept of osmosis. So osmosis is the reason why water enters into the root hair cell, the root hair. But how osmosis occurs and why osmosis occurs? What is osmosis? Osmosis is the movement of water molecules from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration. That means on one side if water is more and the other side if water is less, water is going to move from high to low across a semi-permeable membrane. So here we have to create a difference in concentration we have to create a gradient. So what happens? The root hair actively takes up ions. Actively takes up ion means using ATP, using energy, the root hair takes up ions inside. Once the ions enter inside the root hair, the concentration of the solution of this cell sap, the concentration increases. That means this becomes hypertonic. It becomes concentrated. The solution becomes concentrated as compared to the outside. So outside is dilute, inside is concentrated. Water is more on the outside. So water will move inside the root hair cell to balance out the gradient, to balance out this difference. And this is a semi-permeable membrane. So what is happening? Osmosis is going on. So in osmosis, water moves from high water concentration to low water concentration. Inside is low water but high ion. Outside is high water but low ion. So active transport of ions has created a concentration gradient, has created a difference, and due to this difference there is a movement of water. You need this gradient difference so that the water can enter. So once water enters into the root hair cell, it makes the root hair cell turgid, all fully, the cell becomes full, and this creates a root pressure. This root pressure plays a role for the upward movement of water, and it plays a major role in small plants, the plants which are not that tall. But in case that plants are very tall, for them we need some extra help. What happens? The leaves, they possess stomata, and stomata are tiny pores through which gases are exchanged, gases can enter or leave. Now from the leaves there is loss of water with the process of transpiration. Water is lost in the form of water vapor from the leaves, and this loss of water, this evaporative loss of water creates a suction pull which would pull the water column. So you have to understand that xylem and phloem are present in the root, xylem and phloem are present in the stem, xylem and phloem are present in the leaf. So the entire xylem, it will form a pipe or a channel from the root till the leaf. They form the entire column, a channel. So this movement of water happens through this pipe of xylem which is found in root, stem and leaves. Who is the pulling force? First, the root pressure which occurs when water enters the root, that also helps in the upward movement. The capillary action, because xylem channels are very narrow, so there is a capillarity, there is capillary movement of water. And very important force is the transpiration. Transpiration of water in the form of water vapor from the leaves creates a suction pull, and this pulls the water in the upward direction. So that is how transportation of water take place. Let's do a quick recap. Active transport of ions in root cells from the soil. Difference in concentration of ions between root cell and soil. Thus water will move into root because it has more ions and less water. And we know in osmosis water moves from high concentration to lower concentration. So outside is more water, inside is less water, and water will move inside by the process of osmosis. So this would develop a root pressure, and we know that once the water enters into the root xylem, from there it will go to the stem xylem, from there it would go to the xylem found in leaves, and in the leaf there is another process going on which is transpiration. So water is being lost by the process of transpiration, which is creating a suction pressure, a pull, and this pull will help to draw water more from the root. So this is a loop. This will happen in a loop form. and thus we achieve the transpiration, uh, we achieve the transportation of water and minerals in plant. The next video I'll discuss about translocation of food. Thank you.